Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy back with another video, and shout out to everybody's watching. Now, what I'm actually going to be talking about today is the reasons why you shouldn't be with a single mother. And before I actually, get into the video, furthermore into the video, definitely like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video, and definitely hit the notification button to get notification, so you can get notified to all my videos. And definitely don't forget to support your boy on Cash App, PayPal, and also you can do a monthly donations on my podcast, which that will be in the description as well. And also let you know why I've been putting out my videos in a couple of days. It's because I actually created my red and black pill mindset channel, which that will be in the description as well. I actually released one video called 5 Stages of Red Pill. Definitely check that one out. It was definitely fire. I dropped a lot of jewels on that one, so definitely go over there, do the same thing, like, share, subscribe, and comment over there, and let's get to it. Now, the reason I'm actually going to be talking about this is because there's a lot of dudes that have made a mistake, which is they're probably young, don't know any better. They probably don't even have any kids themselves, and it doesn't matter what age these women are when it comes to being a single mother. They would be with them and not realizing the consequences when it is to becoming a pseudo quote unquote baby father, or a stepdaddy. So I'm actually got this list in front of me of actually why you shouldn't be with a single mother and what to expect when you're dating a single mother. So for number one is single mother is single for a reason. Now, there's a reason why, there's already a bunch of women that are single mothers, and they probably have numbers in single digits or double digits, and this is something where a lot of women are very good at being chameleons, or just straight up narcissistic liars, and they'll actually most of the time they will put all the blame as to why they are single, but single with a baby, or whoever, is because what the father did. He decided to leave the relationship, leave her all high and dry, never take care of the children, and blah blah blah. And it's just a whole lot of BS. So that's one of the things where you need to be careful of being with a single mother, because she would actually tell you a bunch of things that is not actually true. And not saying that every single moms are terrible mothers, or they're just irresponsible, don't know what it is to even be a mother. But the sad thing most of the time is a lot of them are first time mothers, and they don't know what they're doing. But then you got the 2, 3, 4 time offenders, and they would have a bunch of kids with a bunch of baby fathers, and they don't know who the baby fathers are, and it's just a whole big mess. It's just gone to shit. So you definitely need to be careful of dealing with those women. And so number 2 is, it's different than being with one that has no children. Now, it doesn't matter how good looking the chick is, depending on what your preference is. She probably has a big booty, big titties, small feet, small waist, she can suck and dick like it's no tomorrow. Once she has that child, it's a whole different ball game, especially if she's bad, man, or she's known to be a freak in the sheets, So definitely keep that on your mind, because there's a lot of dudes probably got caught in some shit, probably got trapped by a chick, got her pregnant, and and probably don't even realize that she probably has another child, or she had had a bunch of abortions that she probably even tell you, Like, a lot of these women are very sneaky, man, which is why, it's very, very, essential to be on your guard when it comes to women regardless. But it's these single mothers that are trying to, get a bunch of sympathy for people because of how much bad decisions they make. So when it comes to having different experiences, like, I'll tell you this though, like, I've been with bad chicks, and I've been with bad chicks that are single mothers. It's definitely a different ball game, because most of the time, chicks that don't have kids, they are very, free type of thinkers. Like, they have a mindset that they can do whatever they want and blah, blah, blah. Now on the flip side, you got chicks that are single mothers, but they probably got that same mentality of they can do whatever they want, even though they have a child at home, but they're guzzling down, drinks and guzzling down some dicks, every single night probably. So we got, those different aspects of, dealing with those type of chicks, So you gotta be very, very careful with that. And so with number 3, she's not making you a top priority. Like, she's never your top priority, especially if she's a good mother and she does whatever it takes to, support, her children. And it doesn't matter, like, if, and she can also be, working mad jobs, even, good chicks and bad chicks that are single mothers, they have to, work, all the time, and have that whole financial, burden on themselves to make sure the kids are getting fed, they have clothes on their backs, make sure they have a roof over their heads. Like, they have so much burden, so much responsibilities on their back, that being a regular single mother, and also, like, a regular single moms usually don't have anybody that would help, watch them kids, unless, Big Mama is still alive and is able to watch them kids. But in most cases, single mothers that are like, their early 20s or 30s or 40s, they don't really have anybody to watch, their kids like that while they're going to work. So it's a very stressful, situation for them. But also, you need to also see why they're single mothers as it is. And once you even get to know them, most of the time it's from bad, decisions and bad choices of guys. I ain't trying to shit on them, but that's how it usually is. Like you know what? I gotta hold this up. Like, you really need to think about why there are so many single mothers in this day and age. Why is there so many of them? And you have to look at how, society is, like, especially in the Western culture. Like, you got government assistance, you got all these, programs that is, there to help, single mothers. You got WIC, you got, all these, kids programs, all these after school programs, all that shit, and they're still struggling. So it's like, what's going on here? And not only that, you got, your baby father you're saying your baby father's not there, not taking care, his responsibilities is something that you really need to look at. And so when it comes to her not making you as a priority, because there's a lot of reasons why she could not, put you up as not make you as a priority. Top priority. It's because, like I said before, she has to do whatever it takes to make sure she has a roof over her head, for the children, put the foods on their stomachs, clothes on their backs and all that. And even if you were there to help, foot the bill in, a lot of those times, they don't really, respect you like that, because for a lot of women, they understand their worth. And they know that if you're like a single mother and you don't really have anybody to help you, they're pretty much, damaged goods. And they know that their worth is, pretty low, because it's not, all the time where you're gonna, it's not all the time for a woman in their caliber to be with a man that has, everything. Like he has, like the dude could have swag, he could have a lot of money, he could, drive fancy cars, he could be over 6 feet tall, just a lot of unrealistic expectations that women have, when it comes to procreating or dating and other than that. But it's just, it's just a lot of things that for women it don't really make sense. But once you get to understand how women operate, you understand that a lot of their decisions they make is through emotions. Like the guys that they have these kids with, most of the time knowing that they ain't shit, they probably can't, help you, for any damn thing, is based off of their emotional decisions. So if you take the time to talk to these women that are single mothers, and you get to understand, where they come from and how they operate, and what their thinking process is, and how they actually take care of their children and themselves, you start to realize that these women not only are damaged goods, they have a lot of mental issues. And if you take the time to understand about the whole women have mental illness and all that stuff, a lot of those times when it comes to mental illness, most of the time it's from the women. Like you rarely have guys being diagnosed for having mental issues. Not saying guys never have it. I'm saying it's pretty rare for a bunch of guys to have, mental illness. So, and that's, all I gotta say about, for number 3, her not making her type priority, because she has a lot of stuff to take care of, especially your children, and a bunch of housing bills and all that stuff. Like she has so much to do and barely has time to do it. And this is also one of the things I gotta talk about before I go to the next step, is these women that are single mothers, they rarely have time to do anything other than work and, come home and, spend time with the kids. Like it's very, very limited depending how their circumstances are. Like there are rich, single mothers, but they have the money and the resources to get someone to watch them. But for a regular single mother that don't have any type of people or other resources to help them other than, WIC and all that stuff, it's pretty hard for them. So that's all I gotta say about for number 3. So number 4 is you can't discipline her children like a biological father can do. And this is a really big one, because for a woman, biologically, there's a very strong bond with her and the, baby father, because of them creating a child. And that creates a bond to where, depending how the circumstances are, it's very hard for them to break. So you would have, and I'm saying that because you would have, women that are single mothers, and they would date a dude, and they could be together for a couple of months or years. They both living together in the same house, and he's raising your children. And there's going to be a time where, there will be times where he would try to discipline your children, your biological children. And you would have a, problem with that low key. Like low key, you would have a problem with that, because biologically you're in, protective mode, because even though your man is not biologically the father of your children, and he's been with your children for a long time, pretty much raising your children, it's that, protectiveness that is always gonna, rise up, because subconsciously you see them as an outsider. You see him as an outsider. You see him as someone that shouldn't even be able to do that. And that's something that a lot of women, go through in that situation. I don't know what the actual word or term for that is, but that's a lot of things that you need to, be aware of as well. Because there's so many videos on social media where you would see a mother and her children going ape shit for whatever reason, and a dude, is trying to discipline the children, and she would be like, no, don't you talk to my kids like that. Excuse me. Like, don't be talking to my kids that way, and blah blah blah. You ain't got the right to do that. So she actually has, the rules, like the rules is on her side, because she's actually the one that is actually going to allow him to discipline him in whatever way. She could either let him discipline him, to whatever degree that she wants, or just let him not discipline him at all. I mean, make him not discipline him at all, which is, crazy, and kind of defeats a dude being a father figure like that. But it depends on, how the chick is. Like I said, she could be a bad mom and don't really give a damn about anything, unlike herself. And, the relationship is going to be, just, terrible at the beginning. You probably don't even realize it. And later on, it's going to be too late, because you're probably going to be that guy that's like, sitting on the couch, and the kids is, tearing up the stuff, all over the place. Like, they tear up the rug on the floor. They're probably ruining the TV, smashing the table. And you couldn't really do anything because your woman is not, letting you to do anything. So that's one of the things where, like, you shouldn't, be with a single mother. And so let's get to the next one. So number 5, stay clear from any drama from her and her baby daddy. Now this one takes the cake. It takes the cake because I even mentioned this as to why she was single in the first place. Like, why she is a single mother. And depending how much kids she has, like, the more kids she has, the bigger assumption is that she is a very irresponsible procreator. Like, she picks the wrong guys, is what I'm saying. And most of the time it's true. Or she could be with a guy. She could have been with the guy for a very long time, had a bunch of kids with him, and because of whatever circumstances that happened for them to break up, they decided to split up, and she's stuck with probably 3, 4, 5 plus kids, But either way, I don't know, but I'm saying there are circumstances that for a woman, she should actually know better. But if she's actually a widower and the situation just, got cut below the legs, then I understand. Below the knees, or, like her situation with the being together with a guy got cut off, is what I'm trying to say. Like, that situation is, pretty, it sucks. And her, if you try to fit in her shoes. So, but yeah, man, like, when it comes to, the baby mama, the baby mama and the baby daddy drama, it's definitely real, man, because they could be actually be the couple where they still, you know, fighting and bickering or whatnot, but your dude is actually kind of stuck in the middle, because that dude could be like, you know, I don't trust him, you know, being around my kids and whatnot, and she could be like, you know, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, and blah blah blah. You know, just a bunch of emotions just spewing all over the place. And now that's where you need to, as a dude, you know, that's actually, you know, kind of a stepfather role in that situation. It's best to, you know, bounce, because if you got all that, you know, happening where both of your girl and the baby daddy fighting each other and shit, it's best to just wrap it up, man, because it's not gonna get any better, you know, afterwards. Because, and also one thing, like if a woman is that much involved, like if she's showing that much emotions from a guy that she probably has stated that she doesn't really care about him, but every chance that, you know, they get, she's always fighting, there's a good chance that she's actually still fucking him. You know, just to be blunt, like there's a good chance that she still is, you know, she's still probably fucking them, because for a chick like that to still keep him around, even though she says that she's, you know, she's done with him, you know, he's a dangerous dude and all that, and she could actually put up, I mean, she could actually say a lot of crazy stuff about him, but because she still keeps him around and whatnot, she low-key is hoping that they can actually get back together, because I have seen that before, to where the dude actually breaks up with the chick, and they have like a child together. The dude breaks up with a relationship and he moves on, and she's still emotionally involved with the relationship they once had, and she, you know, she's pretty bitter about it, and because of that, she hasn't moved on, and she's still wishing that the relationship hasn't, you know, went the way it did. She would put herself in situations to where if there's a hope of them getting back together, she would do that, which is it's pretty, you know, it's pretty crazy thinking about that, but that happens as well. So do not get between any drama when it comes to stuff like that. You know, just wrap it up, get out of there. It's not worth it. Now the next is number 6. Don't force a relationship with her. And this is pretty, you know, this should be common sense, because like I said before, she has limited time to be with you. Like, she really has time to not only be with you, but to also be with her, you know, friends, if she has some, or her family. It depending like how bad the circumstances is. Like if she's a dirt poor, you know, single mother, all she can do is work, and she rarely has, you know, any time off, or rarely have time to even be in her children's lives. So, and plus it kind of looks bad on your part if you like the chick, even though she's a single mother, and you're trying your best to make it, you know, make it a relationship, even though she probably wants to be with you, but because of how her situation is, it's just best to not, you know, do any of that. Yeah, it's best not to do any of that. So it sucks, but it is what it is, man. Like, you can find I don't say a whole, but I would say a whole bunch of chicks that doesn't have children, but depending on how old you are, it's pretty rare, man, because good chicks that are not, like, really, really good, amazing chicks that don't have kids, and, you know, it's not on that bullshit, you know, they're pretty much getting snatched up at an early age. So And I've actually gone to that, actually got that realization when I got older. So like I think it was a couple years ago, but I was still in my early 20s to realize that a bunch of women, even though they're hot, that doesn't have kids, they're probably on some bullshit. But the women that do are really good women, and they're not on that bullshit. They already getting taken, or they've already been, or they already had like a family. So it's a pretty crazy situation. So, but yeah, like I said, man, don't force anything with anybody, really. Don't force a relationship on a woman that doesn't have children and a woman that does have children. So don't force anybody to do anything. I had to stop doing that as well, because personally I've had forced relationships with chicks. Actually, not forced. I think that's forced, because it was actually a chick where even because there was like a chick couple of months ago where we actually met in school. We've actually clicked and whatever, and it was actually pretty cool. But the thing is, I wanted to have a relationship. She was kind of timid and whatever, and I was like, come on, let's be together and whatnot. And she's like, all right. And we stayed together for about almost a year. Excuse me. But yeah, like we almost stayed together for for almost a year. And it was a pretty cool relationship. It sucks that it's over. Like there's a lot of things that transpired to got me looking back and realizing that there's a lot of things that I messed up at. There's a lot of things that she messed up at. We both understood and moved on from that. And I'm not gonna bash her or anything. It's just that like there's a lot of I'll say this though, like there's a lot of things that I need to improve, and I'm still working on that. So that's all I gotta say about that at the end of the day. But yeah, so get to the next one. Now for number 7, allow her kids to develop a relationship with you naturally. Now, if you actually decide to still be with a chick that is a single mother, and things actually go well to where that y'all actually a couple, that's your girl and whatnot, and you actually comfortable of being a father figure to her children, even though they're not biologically yours. One thing you don't need to do is try to force to get them to like you very fast. Like it actually takes time. Same thing as her, trusting you to be around her kids if she's a really good woman, a really good, mother. So you should already understand that it takes time for you to earn her trust. And not only that, earn her trust even more to be around her kids, even though she's not around. So the worst thing pretty much the worst thing you're going to be doing is try to force something that naturally is going to take a long time to do anyway, and have her questioning if she made the right decision as to trusting you with her children. So you just need to take your time, still be around with them, do some fatherly shit as usual, like, be around them, like play with them and all that shit, read books with them, play video games, just a bunch of, regular father stuff, and that's going to take time for probably, a couple of days or months or even years. But when that day comes, that's going to, transpire. So, Next is don't waste your time. Now, this is where so don't waste your time. So this is where the moral is gonna come up to me right now. And I'm saying don't waste your time because there are a lot of dudes that have wasted, a lot of women's time and actually halted them from being with a guy that they actually have a chance to be with. And I'm saying that because there are a lot of dudes that would be with, single mothers because they feel that they're pretty easy to have sex with, which is, it's fucked up, very shallow, but that's how a lot of guys see it. And also, like, if you actually wasting her time and doing a bunch of, fucked up shit, then you're pretty much doing the same thing as a woman that is a single mother and only using you as a guy, as a pseudo father, just for her to do whatever she wanted to do while you're at home take care of the kids. So you pretty much know better than a fucked up, single mother. Lying to the guy and making him thinking that he's actually, good father and, this is actually a good relationship or whatnot. But at the end of the day, she's just using him to get him to take care of your kids while you're over there doing whatever that you're not supposed to do anyway. So that is, for number 8, don't waste her time. Because if you don't really want to be with her in the long run, don't be with her in the first place. And so for number 9, which is the last thing, is when it comes to single mothers, especially the bad ones, is that they are emotional vampires. Yeah, for a bad single mother, they are some and I'm saying that because kind of for the bad and the good ones, like on both sides, they're pretty much emotional vampires because in the real world, because of how crazy and ridiculous being a single mother is, it's pretty hard work, man. Like there's a lot of single mothers, that you can go on dating sites and you can automatically tell that they're pretty lonely. They don't really have anybody to talk to like that. They gotta stay either at home all the time or stay at work all the time, depending on the circumstances, and their life is pretty much shit. It's pretty much shit, man. So when you're the dude that actually come into her life and actually, done some good for her, depending on what she is, she's actually going to definitely try to monetize her situation. So for her, for certain single mothers, they would actually try to get the guy to, give them money, get them food for her or her children or whatever, or, have them, come around and watch the children or whatever while they go into work or do some whatever stuff they're doing. And, they just try to, monetize what they need to do, or they try to only use you for, for your conversations, for your love, for your companionship. Like, these are some things that a lot of women usually do, even if they don't have kids. But for single mothers, that's what they're really, known for, as for very notorious vampires, emotional vampires. And I can definitely, back that up because I've seen so many, dudes that are sons to these single mothers, and emotionally they're just being battered because of, like I said, the drama with the baby mama and the father. Like they could be, fighting for whatever, and then the single mother would have like a son husband relationship and try to turn the son into someone that she actually wants, which is a husband. It's fucked up, but that's how it usually goes. And so all the reasons that I actually said in this video is the reasons why you should not be with a single mother, especially if you don't have kids on your own and not old enough to fully understand women and how they operate, and just don't do it in general. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Definitely, like I said before, like and share and subscribe and comment on this video. Tell me what you think about it, or if there's anything that I have missed or misplaced or had an error on. Definitely let me know in the comment section, but definitely no trolling. Like if you're actually trolling, then I'm actually going to be banned from this channel forever. So okay. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so like I said, definitely like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.